We are live. I didn't know if we had another video to play, so I didn't. I didn't see the other promo here, so we live now. What's good, everybody? What's good? How are y'all doing today? It's another Q2UA live. I'm coming to you from the battle zone of Tampa, Florida. Coming from the battle zone of Tampa, Florida. We have Brother Wallace, Sister Shar, and Brother Karras this morning. And we just wanted to come in and have a conversation with y'all about the goodness of Yah and how he keep you safe in the middle of the storm. First, though, before I do that, I want to say this. I know we got 25 people here now. I'm gonna say it later again when more people join. If for Question Unite Africa, we will only solicit donations on our website. We will never send you an email directly. We'll never send you a text message. We only solicit donations on this channel and through our website. Anything that tries to send you to a personal Cash App or a personal Zelle account or anything other than going to the website and using the forms that we have there, that's a scam. We don't want any of our people to get scammed, and we don't want any of our people to be thinking that they're sending money to Question Unite Africa, and they're not. Only time that Question Unite Africa will solicit donations is directly from here and on the website. So if anybody sends you or contacts you and tells you to send it to a personal Zelle or a personal account, that ain't us, and they're not acting in the right way. So we don't want to get anybody scammed, because unfortunately there's a lot of scammers out here and a lot of people with bad intentions and stuff, and they'll do any and every means to try to get money out of people. So we don't want nobody out in the community to get scammed, and so we wanted to make sure everybody's aware of that. So with that said, I myself and Brother Karras have been in a very interesting situation this week. We had this lovely hurricane that formed magically off the coast of Mexico and jumped up to darn near a category 7 overnight in less than 24 hours, and then zoomed its way on over here, and it did some work. It did some work. It came out around Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and I remember hearing all the winds sounding like a train engine, man. It was crazy. It was sounding like some jet engines. The wind was blowing so hard, the water was hitting my door. And at one point, I thought somebody was knocking on my door. They're like bamming on my door. And I'm like, yo, who's outside during this time? And then I realized, oh, crap, it's the rain.
It's the rain. Yeah.
It was the rain. So, but I thank y'all, because I really just prayed. And I was like, our ancestors, when we don't think about it, because we just read the stories as a story and don't really think about the details of everything that we're being presented when we read stories. And if we read the original Exodus accounts, our people were there during the time of all the trials and the plagues and stuff that was going on. So when the Nile River turned to blood, if you went every day to go get water out the Nile River as a Hebrew servant, that affected you when the Nile River came, when the frogs and the locusts came. Well, if you were responsible for checking the farm or whatever, when them locusts came, you got affected. It may not be you directly, but you were a part of, it affected you. You had to adjust your lifestyle and move differently. And the one thing they always gave me solace was in the darkness. Everywhere else was dark, but where the Hebrews were. And that is kind of like the situation that Brother Karras and I are in. Like, all around us, there's a lot of destruction. I mean, I ain't even gonna just like sugarcoat it. It's bad. I've been in Florida for 40 years, and I've never seen it this bad after a hurricane. We'll get flooding in little areas that are known to flood and stuff like that. The known areas that are coastal will always have some flooding damage and stuff like that. That's always normal. But the way this storm has moved this time, I went driving. It's a ritual that I have. That after every storm, we drive around and see what the damage is, what it look like, what we're dealing with. And I drove around early yesterday morning, man, and it was bad. There was trees down all over the place, water up to people's waist all over the place. You couldn't get down some major streets because the water was covering roads. You couldn't go down some roads because there were tree limbs down in the roads. It was bad. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. Then I came back, and roads that I had just traveled on started flooding again. So all around this area around me has been this huge amount of flooding all around in that area. And none of the power lights are on. No street lights are on. Like power's off almost everywhere. But in the place where I am, and with Brother Carey, y'all know power. I have internet.
in Gosha, there were lights.
Yeah, I got lights on. I'm good. Brother Karras, he got all his facilities and everything there. Like we're like a little tiny oasis around. I mean, if we just go around the corner from us or just go up the road, nobody has power and all the street lights are out. I haven't seen if they got them up today, but there's a lot. I mean, it was so many street lights out yesterday. I almost had to remind myself to start stopping at lights when the lights were on, because the lights were just off consistently everywhere. Like it's bad. But the grace of the Most High, because I prayed and I was like, this ain't my portion. This is a trial that's coming for America and coming for the judgment of this country and their wicked laws and the wicked way that they conduct themselves. And that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Exactly. Hey, that's all on y'all. They ain't got nothing to do with me.
Ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't taking no parts of none of that judgment, none of that. So I actually have a little video here that I queued up to show the some of the stuff. This was actually the best one that I saw because it was a lot of stuff that I saw. And hold on 1 second. Let me bring that sucker up here. Open it up because it showed the whole thing. Oh, I see. This Joker, he wants to do it like that. So let me change my resolution here so y'all can see it better, because I'm out here with these super large resolution nerd now monitors. Right. There we go. And there's no audio on this. It's just basically drone shots of the whole situation. And I thought this was great. Now this street here, and I'll have it playing while we're while I'm talking. There's no audio, so there's nothing to hear. So this street here is actually not too far away from where I am. It's a couple streets down from where I am. And actually, this street was dry when I left out in the morning the other day. And then I came back around 10 o'clock, and then this happened. Literally all this water is super high. Like you'll see it as these cars start coming in the view up in the front there. Like these cars are buried under water and deep underwater. And this happened super fast. I'm talking about it happened within 2 hours because this road wasn't blocked. It wasn't wet in the morning. It wasn't flooded. And then something broke, something happened. And then just all the areas around this place just started flooding rapidly. And this is just one of a large area that's going through the flooding right now. Like this is what street called? I think this is Fowler. Yeah, this is Fowler.
That's a lot of water.
Yeah. it keeps going. It keeps going. When you see it all there, and then let me see, I'll pull it up a little bit. That's the cars that's stuck in there.
What?
I remember seeing those cars from a distance. I'm like, yo, how did those people even get stuck out there? Look at all these big trucks stalled out, stuck in the water. Mind you, again, this is right around basically right around the corner from me. I could walk down there.
Whoa.
I can walk to this spot. And this is, and it's a long stretch of road, and it's all wet, all flooded up right there. Let me see here. It goes to the end of that road, and then it turns around. There it is. That was turning around and showing you the side. So this is the streets, the stuff on the side, and the water goes all the way back. That building back there used to be a mall, and they've been redoing it. So all that is like parking lot, all in the back there where it is. And all that water, it goes back even to the street behind it. So that's the crazy part. Like even behind
that's what I'm saying. That's a whole lot of water.
And this is just one area. This is it's like this in a huge area. It's going back. That's the Sprouts I go to.
That you used to go to.
I used to go to, yeah. I was just there a week or so ago. I was just in that Sprouts. Like, yeah, look at that's how far that water is going back. You see over there on the side, all that water. Hold on, let me I'm gonna pull it back real quick. On the side over there, like right here, all that's all leading back to another road back there, which is also covered in water and all that. Like, it's going all the way back. This is a big area that water is covered.
Wow.
And that's all that. They got some great drone shots. This was probably the best view of it all. Showing you all the water. This is another area too, because this is all that same street they're showing again. Which side is this? This is the other side of the street, right here with the Sonics and stuff. And boom, see how that water, it goes all the way back behind those trees. There's neighborhoods and houses all behind there. There's water all back there. All back there. There's water. Just covered everywhere. All in them houses and stuff, like off to the side. See how it's going, like off to the side, like right over here when he turns it around. He don't show it too much right there when he lifts up. If he pans up, you would see that he's gonna go over there. Great. I forgot he did that. It looks like a lake, but this is all parking lots back there. You see all those cars underneath the water back there. Like, yeah. It's bad. It's super bad. All those cars in there are just all flooded underwater. And then there's another side that they show as well, which is another equally bad. Yeah, here's the other thing right here. This is in one of the neighborhoods off on the side. They were riding around in those boats right there, picking people up because there's an assisted living home over there. So they were picking up people out of that assisted living home and riding them back. And then I think there's another one. I don't know if this one has the Sherpa in it.
Yeah, I heard it was about 100 and some people in that assisted living facility that they had to rescue.
Yep, they did.
That was in Fort Pierce. Yeah, shalom everyone. That was in Fort Pierce. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Fort Pierce got the flooding like this. They had wind. They had the wind. I'm sorry, y'all are hearing me. I was trying to get out and about this morning to get some coffee. But yeah.
How did that go?
Well, I'm gonna stop over by Chick-fil-A. let's just say that my normal Starbucks run was not so normal. But yeah, you have it's still a lot of intermittent power outage. Gas stations here are still without gas. That to me is my biggest fear. Mm-hmm. Is the gas stations still being without gas. That means something more, to me, sinister is more of afoot, to where, your travels are only for so long, right? And when you don't have gas, especially in this area, you're without means of
getting around.
Yeah. There's no buses on out there. There, because the reality is, what Red had just showed you, those are on major thoroughfares with bus routes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm beginning to suspect, and I always say suspect, it's a probable suspect, highly likely. Because here's the thing. In these situations, nobody's going to tell you the truth.
Mm.
So so I have to put on my intelligence analyst hat and be like, hey, there's a strong likelihood, there's a strong degree, something is happening, something's going on. Things are going on, because you are not going to get the full story from either the local, state, or federal government, because that will scare people. That will cause people to be in a panic. So I went on out and about to, see what's happening and see what's going on, because I like to do my own assessments, so then I can start to build the picture, right? I have to get a picture of things, because I have to be able to see how will that affect me and my family later on. Same with Red. I never thought that I'd hear Red say, hey, if I see this other storm coming through, then I'm gone. There's no ifs, ands, or questions. Because Red was so adamant. I've been in Tampa. I'm a Tampa native, and even Sister Shar was jeering of, oh well, it's just a little hurricane. And when Red and I had discussed, now that hurricane was ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I didn't underestimate the hurricane. I understood that this wasn't my portion. And the fact that I'm still sitting here with power while not too far away from me, houses is looking like this and cars is underwater like that. Hey, I'm more concerned of the Mad Max aftermath situation. If this water and these trees and stuff and these power situations don't get resolved within a timely fashion, well, once they lose their food in circus, people start acting crazy. And I don't want to have to be in a position where I have to, basically tell a person you either leave the premises or you leave the mortal coil. So,
exactly. Like Shar said, the first day they're gonna be out, sharing food, having barbecues, laughing and joking. Day 5 and 6, when the things get thin and they can't replenish their stash, it's gonna be crazy. It's going to begin to get real silly.
Yeah, and that's always the biggest thing about social unrest and things of that nature. There's a time that you actually have to kind of feel the pulse, and if you're able to leave in an area, you're gonna have to leave, or else, I'm not. I don't think you'll. All right, thank you. I don't think that you're gonna hear anyone say that a martial law has been imposed. I'm not gonna say that, because you won't hear that. There's psychological implications to a state of martial law. Now they could say it's a state of emergency, and that sounds a lot better in the grand scheme of the psychological thought process. Oh, it's just a state of emergency. We always hear state of emergencies. It's innocuous, right? However, if they're saying now, no, we've already declared that state of emergency, and that state of emergency is martial law, then
exactly.
Then people begin to, kind of pucker up. What does this mean? How bad is this? You get what I'm telling you? And then folks kind of understand, I can't be here, in this time, because if there is lawlessness, then I am in trouble. If there's lawlessness, then I am a target, or my family's a target. So those
ain't
are the
nobody coming to save you.
Exactly.
Ain't nobody coming to save you. Is that a boat?
No, I was gonna say that's the Sherpa that they have. If anybody remembers that video with Kanye, we was riding around with his dad in that big old vehicle with the big tires. That's what it is right there. It's from this company called Sherp, a Sherp ATV, or called a Sherpa, and it's got big 4 tires on it that are really, really big with like flaps on them that let it go through the water. It's a pretty cool device. I ain't gonna lie. You can independently adjust the air in the tires and stuff. I was sitting there watching them go in and bring people water and rescue people with it. So they've been driving around. They got a bunch of those out in this area, and they've been bringing water to people and seeing if anybody's hurt and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of standing water that breeds a lot of waterborne diseases and illnesses. It breeds a lot of mosquitoes. It's going to start to get real.
This water isn't from the ocean. There's no lakes around here. This is from
that's poo-poo water.
Exactly.
That's poo-poo water.
From a backup in the water retention ponds, and all this water is coming out of the sewer. It don't stink, but it's basically that's the only place where the water is going to come from.
Yep.
So the funny thing is that before this happened, Tampa was already under a boil order, or like a notice order of water and water treatment and things of that nature. So the other day I was giving my dog some water out of the sink, and there is just black particles coming out. And that was, to me, it's like, well, I mean, I don't really drink out of the faucets and things of that nature, but you got to take showers, right? You take baths. Those are the things that are the concern, because that exposure is on your skin and things of that nature. So, um, to me, I always have a lot of skepticism, because I also understand they're not going to tell the general public, things, and I'm sorry. You can look at the track record. They don't tell you everything, and they're not going to tell you everything. There's a reason. And then they'll apologize later down the road, after everything is, well, I'm sorry, we didn't tell you everything because we didn't want to cause a panic, even though this was life threatening. We told you all it was life threatening, because the situation is that after the deal goes down, nobody's going to really tell you anything of vital information. You won't get that. You're not going to get that here. You don't get that in a combat zone. You just get told to go to the objective. You don't need to know anything else. You don't need to know if there's any, drones or any other aircraft that's inbound to do an airstrike. They'll just tell you you're in a combat situation. Look at your surroundings, check your surroundings, and adjust as appropriate.
Yeah, it's there. I think y'all know. Now there ain't no FEMA down here. Although they did come and say, "Oh, we'll be able to support everybody." That's a lie, because Asheville is looking crazy, and there's a lot of people this time that have this flood claims, and FEMA ain't finna be able to help everybody in all this. There's no flood insurance in Florida. They don't do. They left when they had to deal with flooding before, and the flooding in Tampa wasn't even this bad. So. This is a lot of damage. All these buildings that you see with all that water, those buildings are practically ruined. All those buildings, these are homes. A lot of in this area here, these are homes, and these people's homes are done. Like, these houses are deep underwater, and their cars underwater. Like, it's a lot of people are done with this stuff.
Yeah, because they'll start molding. Like one of the little plazas by me, a lot of the signs have been smashed out, ripped on out. And as I'm driving, I have to be careful, because
street lights are out.
Street light next to me, next to like my apartment complex, is completely out. These are this is a situation that Red and I, we find ourselves in, because this is like those 72 to 96 hours of if it gets bad or if it, doesn't get bad. And to me, I'm sorry, I don't think that there's going to be the power restoration like that, because really, how can you restore the power
with all this water
for lines that's flooded? Because understand that most of these residential communities, because I listened to my dad. He retired from Florida Power and Light. And after they did Hurricane Andrew here in Florida, when people are talking about, oh, yeah, they need to change standards and they need to do this and do that. Well, yes, they did. They did change the standards. And then what they did was, instead of having a lot of the high lines, what they will do is, in the residential communities, you don't really have the high lines. All the lines are underground.
Yep, I was just walking by one of the places here, actually down the side road from me, and right on the little pedestal for the electric company, it said, "Beware buried lines underground."
Yep, they bury the line. So now, do you think that you'll be able to connect the power if you're right there and that line is there?
If you do, it'd just be a shocking experience.
Exactly.
It's going to end up overloading, and probably a couple substations are going to blow out because of the shorts in the water. The electric grid is just a big circuit, and just like when water gets in your circuits at your home and it's shorted out, that's what's going to happen. It'll short it out, and then nobody's going to have power because all the substations are going to be blown. And they don't keep none of those things in stock either. That's the other thing they don't tell you. They don't keep like stocks of all the stuff that they use. They always order it when they need it, and it comes from China.
Our favorite place in the whole world.
Their favorite place in the whole world.
Well, yeah, and that's another big one. That's another big one. Where people talk about, hey, the information of how things had been reported, the information of, how we just had a logistics issue, the logistics strain with the longshoremen and things of that nature. This was really the perfect storm kind of leading up to it. And, yeah, a lot of these power supply conduits and things of that nature. When I had worked for a company that did Salesforce, I had to do a telemedia, or it's a telecommunications media form. And that also included utilities and things of that nature, electric and grids, things like that. And one of the clients, they did electrical supply, and they were based out of Georgia. And the client was saying that, they don't really actually own or fabricate the electrical supply. They actually order the electrical supply from China. And that's what they were trying to do with.
Yep. Looks like Karis walked into one of the many dead zones that's been around here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, can you all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, you back.
Yeah, so getting back on my Wi-Fi. So those are the things that a lot of folks, I don't know how I got the job and why I learned what I learned it, but I always thought about that, and I'd ask my dad, and my dad said, yeah, that's usually what happens, because he still has his friend that works at Florida Power and Light, and he's been there for over 40 some years. And, they love these storms because they make so much overtime. That's how they get paid. Yeah. Man, be a lineman.
But the main thing too with this is, I really wanted to encourage everybody today, because this is bad. And this is like not far from where, Karis and I are, and we're here, online with power. Like everything is fine. Like it's so weird when I go out and drive. I feel like my place is like a little oasis in the midst of all this, because when you drive out, there's no power nowhere. Like power's out almost. Everybody I've almost talked to, I've checked in on the storm. Almost all of them don't have power. Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
None of them have power. And when they find out I have power, they be like, "What?
We coming over there, Red?" No.
You know what I'm saying? Not my little hood apartment. You can't come over here. But
I can't hold but two people.
If that. But this is a show like you shouldn't fear. Not saying that you don't take the appropriate, responses, because trust and believe, I have right behind me, as a matter of fact, I still got my go bags and stuff all situated. I counted all my bullets. I got my pew-pews. I ain't stupid. I'm not just sitting here and be like, oh, the Most High is going to help me, and I ain't doing nothing. No, you prepare and you trust. And that's what I did. I prepared and I trusted in the Most High, and hey, boom, he kept it safe. So now I'm just keeping an eye out and looking at the situation. And hey, if things look like it's gonna go Mad Max, hey, I'm finna go.
Yes.
Go up north.
Hey, say that ain't my portion either.
That ain't my portion either. I ain't finna sit here and fight in the Thunderdome. I'm good.
Well,
and look at
I don't know if people truly understood Hurricane Katrina and how Hurricane Katrina worked. So with Hurricane Katrina, those that were able, in about less than a week, they left. They left. And it wasn't the fact that a lot of them had, damage or things of that nature. But they had gone a couple of weeks without supplies. That's how that worked.
Yep. People didn't prepare.
Now, exactly. Now, this go around, you do that, especially here in Tampa, especially in Florida. No, if you do that, Florida's economy gets drained. Reg, you know what I'm talking about? Florida's economy gets drained. I mean, Disney World is shut down right now. Disney World.
Yep. Hey, real quick, Sister Shar did say that me and you was in Goshen and Hepzibah Israel came said the same thing. Goshen set apartment.
Mobile Goshen in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's true. That's what it's feeling like, man. I don't even drive. I just go out and walk around looking, and it's just like it's bad. And it's just like what Carrie said. Like a lot of folks didn't prepare. Man, these I give props to a lot of these Mexican folks that's around here. Hey, they started opening up little tables on the side of the road and started a grill and started selling food on the side of the road. Like all these little shops, because I'm in the heavy area with a lot of like Mexicans and stuff like that. And so they was opening their shop. Everybody that could open their shop, they opened it. Everybody that had a food truck that was able to, that wasn't underwater, they opened it. And man, look, they was cooking the other day. But just like what Kara said, if these trucks aren't able to come in, because look at all this water and they can't come in and resupply, that's going to limit a lot of places that you can go get food and shop from. And those places is going to get mauled when people, have to go in and replenish their supply because people only buy food enough for usually 1 or 2 days.
Yeah. And the amount of standing water is just, that to me is the craziest part, just to see that amount of standing water. Because the way that this all works is everything. All right. So you have sinkholes forming. And the reason you have sinkholes forming is because basically there are pockets of Tampa that's on bedrock and there's pockets of Tampa that's on sand. And a lot of what Tampa is on sand. Mm-hmm. And what ends up happening is the bedrock that becomes eroded, that sand comes through and it literally just, sandblast that bedrock because we're sitting on an aquifer. So basically we're on a water table. You drill down into Tampa far enough, you're going to hit water. That's how that goes. You're going to hit water. So all that water level, when it comes down and it seeps down, well, it fills up and then it goes down. And it creates air bubbles, and those air bubbles get filled in by the top layer sand. It all collapses. So that is one of the fears that we're going to have, especially around in Red and I's area.
There was one already in Hillsborough County. I forget what neighborhood it was at, but there was a big one over there, right in the middle of a neighborhood. The sidewalk and most of the street got sucked down in the sinkhole.
Mm-hmm.
And they cut off another road near me. This 19th Street. They cut off the road because they were worried about sinkholes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're in a sinkhole-prone area. Red and I are. So there's going to be some homes.
All these flooded areas, some of these streets, and the bad part is you won't be able to see it because all that dirty water is there. So, you might just have a case of somebody walking and they just drop.
Yeah. That is a danger.
And most people don't think about that. Everybody walking through this water, not wondering where the water coming from. That's, that's the other thing is like, that water is not coming from like no ocean or river. So it's clearly...
Once again, poo-poo water.
It's deep brown and it's dubious. And that's disease now. Now you're gonna have hospitals run not only with injuries, but people getting sick from all kinds of nonsense in this water.
I mean, it's like they're not even thinking about crap like that.
Nope.
I mean,
they had the kids playing in it. In one place I was at, the kids was all down there running around. I seen one lady was washing her shoes in it. I don't even know about that. Me and some fellow Hebrews are standing on the corner watching, like, what are y'all doing? Because we was like, yo, that's that poo-poo water. What y'all doing?
Exactly. That's that poo-poo water. I'm like,
and Reg, you gotta remember that water made it into a lot of their homes, so they're gonna have to clear out the studs. They're gonna have to, not necessarily studs, but they'll have to clear out things, you know, to the studs.
Probably gonna have to get that little assisted living back there. They're probably gonna have to tear all that stuff down.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's when it gets to a certain point of damage, they just tell you to tear it down because mold is just too much of an issue.
Mm-hmm. And now think about this, because the economy is so bad, those places aren't going to be replaced.
No, they're not,
because they won't be insured.
Mm-hmm.
This is now a slow decay of Florida right now,
or it'd be a tent city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or folks start heading north.
That's what's going to end up happening. People are going to start either going south and north. You can't go too far south because Sarasota got hit too. So it's going to be inland, and then north and south. Because it's pretty bad. This is just one area, really. There's so many areas that I just feel like this was the best drone shots that I found that was done in there, and it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's dozens of neighborhoods. It's dozens of neighborhoods. Understand where Red and I are at. Where you have Lutz, you have Land O'Lakes, you have Odessa, you have Keystone, North Tampa, places like Avila, and what is it, Cheval? Those neighborhoods,
Cheval, yep.
Carrollwood. They all put their homes on the water. Everybody, and I'm telling you. These white neighborhoods, especially off of Brewster Downs, northern Brewster Downs, it's all messed up,
jacked up.
And they're showing you these areas. These are kind of your lower income, middle to low income homes. But then when you go to those areas, you're not even going to see any pictures being taken there.
Have they even shown Bayshore? Have you even seen anybody showing Bayshore yet? I've been looking to see if anybody's shown Bayshore. Nobody has shown any pictures of Bayshore.
No,
usually Bayshore is one that they always show, every hurricane season. They haven't shown Bayshore at all. And that place is another, right off the river. See, all the Bay Area place, that's why they always worried about it. For those who don't know, the Bay Area is basically where all the rich white folks stay. And that's where all the high-end super $1 million houses and all that kind of stuff where they're coming from. And yeah, that's big money. That's a lot of big money homes out there.
Yeah, they may not show that.
Nah.
And they're all on the water. They're all on lakes. They're all on ponds. Without fail. This is going to be hundreds of billions of dollars just in the Tampa Bay area alone.
Mm-hmm.
Easily.
Very easily. Very, very easily. It's been, down in St. Pete, they had a crane up there. That crane came down on a building. They've had flooding in there. Oh yeah, there was a construction crane, and it came down on another building that was nearby.
Yep, well, that whole building that come down.
Yep,
yep. It's all structurally unsound because it hit right in the corner of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Down the way, Red, on Nebraska Avenue. There was a billboard sign that crashed into a building over by Bush. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we haven't even. I'm telling you, we can't even really fathom how bad Tampa is. But when we tell you it's bad, it's bad.
It is bad. That's some houses in Hillsborough County. I know, heard of one gentleman. He lost his home by the water. He was unfortunately an elderly Hebrew gentleman. He lost his home These, showing all those tree limbs. Those are the small ones. That's actually not that bad. And there's bigger trees. I'm not talking about trees, huge trees taking up whole roads. You got to move to different sides of the roads because the trees down. This was in Sarasota where during the storm where I think they were having sparking and stuff flying. You see all kinds of stuff everywhere still. All over the place. It's been like I said, out of all my years of being and seeing hurricanes, man, this is the one I'm talking about. There's multiple cars flipped over on this side. I've been seeing a lot of that. Like this one's been bad. This one slapped the mess out of Tampa.
Yeah, Chocolate Night. USF is flooded. Yeah, my son and I drove through there a little bit yesterday. USF is flooded.
Yep, this is out here in Tampa. Again, another flooded area. I think that's UC. That's actually the University of Florida area. I'm looking at that building in the background. That look like University of Florida over there. So this is all underwater. All these signs, all that stuff. It's crazy, man.
That is crazy.
Seeing areas that you drive through every day just underwater is kind of wild. It's definitely wild. Like I've seen other areas underwater and stuff before, but I'm like, dang, bro, like that's crazy. Like this is down further south in Venice Beach, Florida. That's another one. Water is super high. That whole area is done too. The water got really. That's where they got the storm surge. So that water got really high.
Yeah, Venice is just south of Sarasota. It's just south. And again, in those areas, you really don't see a lot of us. So. It is one of those things that this really did hit the areas where a lot of our people aren't located. A lot of us are mostly inland.
Yep.
So higher elevation areas is literally about 10, 15 minutes away from Red and I. Up in Pasco County, Citrus and Hernando, and then you get on up to about Ocala. Ocala has a little bit of elevation, but then you get more elevation within the Gainesville area. But
and then this Venice Beach area, this is retired old white people too. That's why you're seeing a lot of these different homes that want to say assisted living or adult living and stuff like that. That's all the different old folks homes, where there's a lot, Florida's also known for all the old white folks. They come here to retire because they want to sit on by the beach and stuff like that. So that's where a lot of them stay. They have their boats and stuff out there. And this is what
and they don't leave. Exactly. They don't leave. They're like, oh, it's a hurricane. It may be a bad one, but I'll be okay. And that's their last sunset. And this is when it hit like literally right at sunset. So I've seen videos to where sand
the sand
had just come on in. You're not gonna get out of that. So that's a horrible death because you got your skin sandblasted, and then you drown. And then you end up drowning.
I don't know if this one had the sand in it in this picture. In this one, there was another one I saw just that where the sand was literally it covered the homes. The sand had just covered all the homes. They were all just covered in dirt, which is so interesting because I'm like, okay,
you're not gonna really, and that's the whole thing. You're not gonna really be able to reclaim that. You're not. You're what they're gonna end up doing is they're gonna end up bulldozing that area, and it's just a reclaimed part of the shoreline. It's a reclaimed part of the beach.
Yep. Or become a 15-minute city.
Yeah.
That sand part was absolutely wild because sand was almost up to some houses in the roof. Like that's how bad that sand was. Like that storm surge was no joke. And it brought all that sand and dirt with it. Basically, it just created a new shoreline.
Yeah, where the homes were, that was the shoreline.
And now it's basically reclaimed beach. The beach. I don't know if did this one have any? No, this one didn't. They keep showing that carport where they were parking the police cars and the building fell down on top of it.
Yeah, that's Port
This is the
St.
sinkhole.
Lucie.
This is the sinkhole I was talking about right here. It opened up right there in the middle of the road, as you can see. All right, and that thing deep that you see, that's a deep behind sinkhole.
So all those homes there are affected, and that community is pretty affected.
Yep. Wow. I'll be frightened.
It's probably up in somewhere up here in North Tampa, Red. Probably like over by Sickles High School. East of the Carrollwood area.
Like now,
or
all
west
those
of Carrollwood
that's adjacent to that hole should be worried right now because that sinkhole one day opened up in this one guy's house while he was in there sleep, sucked him down. Never saw him again.
Yeah,
that picked up that truck and flipped it. You could tell it picked it up. That's Palm Beach Gardens. Yep, that's in Palm Beach County.
Time to move,
man. I'm done.
But you can't run from judgment, though. I don't care where you go.
Yeah, that you could tell that van got rolled by that tornado.
All the power lines. That's why they started burying the lines. Yeah, that wind was next level. That was some next level wind, and they got the brunt of it down there. So that wind was no joke. There's so many trees.
They said the statistics were it was 133 tornado warnings. So, and it said it set the record for the month of October, which means it also set the record for a single day outbreak.
That's crazy.
And they said that there was about 40 tornadoes reported. Over 40. That is crazy. At least touchdowns. So everything here in Florida basically had gotten touched or affected. That's amazing to even think about. That everywhere literally got touched or affected. I mean, you literally had Yeehaw Junction get messed up, and Yeehaw Junction is in the middle of nowhere that connects State Road 60 to the Turnpike. That's where I go. That's what I use to go down to see my family in South Florida most of the time. Sister Betty, she is literally right off of State Road 60 in Polk County. And multiple tornadoes had gone through that area from Lake Wells to Haines City up to Kissimmee. It was like anywhere that was I-75 south, or excuse me, I-4 south had gotten tornadoes. And everywhere that was I-4 north had gotten flooded. So you could do what you could do it too. You could deal with flooding, or you could deal with the wind.
That was it.
That was it. Like, that was crazy.
That's literally it. It's like you're gonna either deal with the floods or you're gonna deal with the winds, because there was a lot of houses whose roofs got ripped off because of this stuff, and stuff was flying into the roof and flying into homes. Like it slapped a lot of people's houses. It slapped a lot of people's homes. Let me find. I found one more that showed a lot of different damage to the homes. Again, these nice white folks home area homes. You know what I mean? They got whooped.
Yeah,
all the roofs all jacked up. Like, them homes are done. All these homes are done.
Yeah, those are some nice homes. Those are really some nice homes. Windows blown out. All my windows are good. Hallelujah.
Exactly. Hallelujah. Praise the Most High.
That's Yahuwah right there.
For real. I mean, it was hurricane. There were tornadoes touching down all over the place. That's what did a lot of tearing. I think that's actually what ended up causing most of the deaths was the hurricane, the tornadoes.
And now understand this. Folks are going to have to brace for number one, relocating, and number two, having to pay, because whatever stipend that the insurance gives you, it's still never enough. Oh boy, yeah, that's I-75, and it's still flooded.
Yeah, it's It's basically a lot of these places, people are just going to have to leave. I mean, there was, especially when you got it flooded. I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, they're having flood rescues. I'm watching WGN and yeah, Hillsborough County Sheriff. Oh, that looks like that's the veterans. That's what I'm looking at, is the veterans.
And let me
And
see
that was
here.
down. It
Show
may be
y'all
Dale
another.
Mabry.
This is the other thing. This is what happens when a sinkhole hits a house. Right here. This house got swallowed by a sinkhole. They said their dog let them know what was going on. But
that's crazy.
The whole home side of the home got sucked under.
Yeah, there's oh my, yeah, they have to have like rafts and stuff in to literally move the people. It's
Yeah.
and you and a lot of these homes, because see, like West Tampa, you have a lot of your Hispanics in West Tampa, and West Tampa goes from like what would you say, Red, like Carrollwood area, which is about Florida Avenue, over to about Dale Mabry. And
Near
then
the
from
airport.
Dale Mabry, Dale Mabry Airport area. Then from there you have Oldsmar, and Oldsmar is very low. Town and Country and Oldsmar are very low. They're like right at the basin of the Tampa Bay. So when all that stuff rushes and surges up, then the water it can't go anywhere.
Yep.
And I don't know if this water is draining out, because I don't know if this water has kind of reclaimed, if the sea level rose.
Yeah, I was gonna go take a walk today to go see if the water was where the water situation was gonna look like. Another thing, oh crap, what was I about to say too? Oh, another thing that I've been looking for too is I pretty much haven't seen any images of downtown Tampa, Bay Shore, or MacDill Air Force Base. That's the other thing
they won't, and I don't think that they'll show it. Yeah, and the sad thing is, I don't think they'll show it. I think that they'll scrub it all.
Like that, I wanted to kind of see. I don't want to drive out in that area because I'll probably get stuck. Ain't no telling.
Honestly, I was thinking about doing that. I was thinking about doing that and going on the base and kind of seeing if they're gonna.
You probably wouldn't even be able to go on the base. There. You probably wouldn't even be able to get there. A lot of those roads over there in West Shore, they flood on a normal rainstorm. So I can only imagine.
I think I could take the crosstown. I think we could take the crosstown all the way down there.
Oh Lord, not enough excitement in the life, so you got to go try to take risks. Going nowhere near.
You're giving me a thought. You give me a thought process, Red. I think I could probably take the crosstown. I thought, yeah.
They got all them things, all the exits and stuff be cut off, man.
Oh yeah, no, they would. They'd actually cut the highway down, and they would tell you to they probably would cut it off at like I-4 and tell you to like turn around. Because really I-4 is the cutoff, and you hit Adamo Drive, all those other places. I'm sure they're probably already ruined, and you won't. Yeah, because you don't have any pictures. You don't have any pictures from any of that. None of those areas. And that was surprising to see that you don't have any. You just see Sarasota, and which makes me wonder, like, how bad is Tampa? Yeah, and I'm seeing, this is Fowler that I'm looking at on one of these things, and I just drove by there yesterday. Yeah, Fowler is still bad. And Fowler, technically speaking, that's your higher elevation. But you also have Hillsborough River, and you also have some other places, like different watersheds and different canals. There are some canals and waterways that are here to help with the draining. And go ahead.
And the blessed thing, because I was seeing some people in the chat talking about how, I think I saw one person say that their cousin, they had lost some shingles off their roof, but they're good. And that's just, that blessed me because, Yah's keeping his people, man. Yah's really keeping his people. Some of us, were affected by this, that were, around amongst mainly Gentile areas, but a lot of the really, really bad areas that got hit was areas that was not full of us. Like this area here is a beachfront area, and there's not. If there are some of us down there ain't many.
Yeah, see how that sand came up?
All that sand. That's why I wanted to get this one. Yeah, all that. And this is a lightweight one with the sand. The sand was higher in the other ones, and this sand is pretty high too. but the sand was covering some buildings in some of the other one. But all these homes, these are all like big money homes, big money areas. You see all the docks and stuff out of there. These all, all palm color people areas.
Yeah, and I'm looking, man. These folks got hit with some EF2 tornadoes. Those were some good sized tornadoes for Florida.
For
Florida, these are really good sized tornadoes. This dude was right there, and his window busted out.
Pixie does
like taking pictures, and his window
is over.
yeah.
But yeah, man, y'all has really kept, his people. And, if you truly, again, I ain't saying don't make your preparations, because trust, I got my little solar generator. I got, I got my preps and stuff, but I'm not depending solely on the preps. I got the preps, and then you also trust in the Most High and use common sense.
Well, one of something was said the other day of, well, how come you didn't go on out, and how come you aren't out there helping folks and in their time of need and things of that nature? And I'm kind of like, here's the thing: I didn't read anywhere in the Bible that folks were helping Sodom and Gomorrah when they were going through the tragedy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Tell me a scripture when the Most High's judging a place, and you're running to try to help. Actually, it says in the scripture that you run to that danger, you're gonna get swept up in it. You're gonna be caught up in
it. See, exactly. I don't take joy in seeing people, lose all their stuff, but at the same time, I know why this is happening, and I ain't finna get in the way of the Most High's business.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna run to judgment, right? Because here's the thing: look, they had their opportunity to repent. What do the scriptures say? What does Jeremiah 15:51 say? Look, we would have healed her. We would have taken balm. And that's what we had done. Look, I'm sorry for these last couple of years, especially on the Covenant Awakenings channel. I had said, especially, I wasn't just speaking to Israelites, I was also speaking to Gentiles. Repent. Because now, in the midst of all this stuff going on, which is crazy, now we're in technically they're saying like we're in a 48-hour window.
Right.
For them folks, that Eastern Mediterranean nation is straight back at Iran. And now we're in a 48-hour window. And and folks here in Florida won't even know what's going on because half the people don't even have power.
Yep. Yeah, this is some interesting times, y'all. I mean, look at this boat sitting on the side of the house. That boat wasn't there originally, and that's a pretty nice boat too.
Those are nice boats. Yeah,
I'd be upset. I would be very upset. How in the world did that even get?
These boats are like $200,000-$300,000 boats because that's a yacht, actually.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. That's a super nice boat. Look how it's wedged. Like, bro, come on. It's wedged right between the tree and the house, and
that boat is ruined because you understand the underhaul is ruined. So remember earlier this year? I told you I said I took a boating course and I did my little I was gonna do like a hunter's thing, but I did like a state of Florida boarding course. And this was I've done it before, but it had been like 10 or 12 years. Because I wanted to rent a boat back around June, July timeframe. Because I was trying to do some outdoor activities with my son. So I took a boating course, and part of the portion with the boating course is that I still needed to do the on the boat, hands-on portion. But I don't look like that's gonna happen anytime soon with all this stuff.
Ain't no more docks to go off of. Almost all the docks are look at that dock right there, jacked up. Almost all the docks are pretty much gone. These were $1 million nice homes right here. Like, these weren't no homes.
Yeah, so the docks were gone. So we're also, and this is why I know they're not going to want to show McDill, because that would it's probably super damaged.
No, McDill is probably looking horrible down, Bayshore, because Bayshore, again, these areas, they're along the coastal Bay Area. So even on a heavy rainstorm, they flood. It's normal. After a heavy rainstorm, you see people wading in water up to their knees down Bayshore. So that's on a regular rainstorm. So for something like this to hit,
it literally could have swept people away, because if folks did see some things, if folks did go outside, because you don't know what that water looks like, and then you open up that door and that thing messes you up. Yeah, I'm seeing, just sand all up in homes, dunes. Homes are literally uprooted off of their actual foundation or their slab, because they put it on steel beams and stuff like that to let water go through, and then as it goes through, it lifts it up. It literally lifts it up off the foundations, and they float away. Homes could actually float away. And a lot of these are resorts that are there that get messed up on the beaches, and it could actually close up resorts.
I never understood why. I always liked the beach areas in Florida, but I never understood why folks would always live there, because I'm like, you could.
Well, that was it. You have money, you have funds. You're gonna want to do what? You're gonna want to go and get yourself a beach house, right? That's a sign of opulence and things of that nature. Or buy a condo. Oh yeah, this is coming into. These homes right on the water. Oh my goodness.
That's what they tell you. How the American dream when you buy into it, and then this is just the beginning of just a lot of stuff, because there's another storm that they're saying is forming down there, that by next week this time another storm might be coming in down there in the Gulf again. So there's another one that they're looking at right now that they say it might form around below Cuba and stuff, and may come up, and I think that they said this one might come and hit like Alabama and stuff, but it's going to be wide enough and it's going to cut across Florida, where again you're going to get rains and winds again, and they won't have none of this stuff cleaned up by then.
It's a Teresa's Bakery. I'm thinking, Red, you got a lot of folks hit over in West Tampa. I think you probably had a lot of folks hit by I-4 and 92. You know what I'm talking about, Red? Over by the Hard Rock. I'm thinking you had a lot of folks hit on over there.
And Auntie made a good point. She's like, where do you run from a tornado? Y'all don't have basements like you have in the Midwest. And it's true. I ain't never know I'd never been in nobody's basement. Because I'm like, there's nothing underneath the floor except dirt and water.
You don't have basements. No, you don't have basements in Florida.
Nah,
the water line is too high.
So protection from they tell you to get in a closet. Or something like that. That's the best thing they tell you to do, is to find like a small room and shut yourself up in it.
Yeah, this to me, in just my limited opinion, and I always give a limited opinion on things, but this to me was really the worst case scenario. Economically, you just had Helene, you just had the port strike, and now you have this causing major damage, and Portillo's, Miller. I'm looking at some things because a lot of that damage, especially up at Fowler. Fowler is only about, from Red and I, maybe
not too far
within 5 miles. Red about maybe 2-3. It's definitely walking distance. That's over at the University of South Florida area. University of South Florida was flooded. Across the street from University of South Florida is the BA, and they had lanes closed down on Bruce B. Down, which is a 6-lane road. So that was also flooded.
And in the midst of all of this, I have my feet on dry carpet. I walk outside and there's some tree branches down and all that little bit of stuff, but there ain't no flooding. You know, we got power and stuff. Like the Most High is truly.
Polk County. Polk County got flooded out bad too. Oh boy.
And you know,
yeah, it's a Lakeland.
We've been blessed, you know what I'm saying, to basically dodge a lot of this stuff, man. And that's the one thing I really wanted to show, like all this, you know, destruction and stuff, not to get everybody going on the, you know, they have a lot of the fear. They have a fear addiction with the news. They love showing you crazy stuff. They get the the weather person always wants to go out in the middle of the crazy and stand there with the winds like, oh God, it's so, you know, they always want to get you hyped up on all this stuff. And I'm like, I just thank the Most High that when you put your trust in him, like when I tell y'all, I never lost power throughout this whole storm. I watched the across the street from me when it went out and hearing stuff cracking and linging all around, and I never once lost power. I had blips, like, you know, a little blip here and there, but never lost power. Never.
So Red, I was watching something because the day before I was showing St. Leo, San Antonio, places east of Dade City. And it was showing that Dade City had about 12 inches of water. So did Claremont. So even if you went into Orlando, you literally got flooded out with inland water, with the inland flooding.
And the beautiful part about it is, you know, brother right here, Chocolate Knight, his area, Polk County, didn't flood. The Most High keeping his people, man. And he's in Polk too. So that's a blessing, man, that you didn't get any flooding. That's a huge blessing. You know, the Most High is truly, truly good. Because I ain't gonna lie, when I left yesterday and came back and I saw Fowler, that first video I showed, all that water, I thought my apartment was underwater at that point. So I'm like in my head already. I've resolved it in my head. I'm like, oh well, Most High, you know, it is what it is. I guess this had to be. It is what, you know, I'm just preparing my heart. And then sure enough, I come in and home is the same way I left it, man. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I was moved to tears the other day, man. The Most High is a keeper. He is truly a keeper, and he is a backer of his word that in the midst of these plagues, you move smart. I ain't saying sit and, you know, if the hurricane was a category 7 coming here, I'd have been gone. Category 5 coming here, I'd have been gone. Because, you know, I'm like, nah, I ain't finna play with that. I'm out. But you know, I use common sense. That's why I'm telling. I don't want to push an over spiritual. You know, sometimes we over spiritualize stuff and be like, "Oh, I'm waiting on the Most High." When the Most High is giving you every signal, hey, you need to get up.
Time to leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's time to leave. Like, you know, we got that Christian cult mindset that they put us where, you know, you just blindly trust stuff with no logic. The Most High don't move like that. You know, yeah, he moves outside of logic, but he also, you know, moves within reason. And you have to have, you know, be prepared at the same time. But, you know, also just don't worry. You know, I didn't worry. I had no worries coming into this. I was, you know, cautious. Not saying I was just, you know, being ignorant. I was cautious. I paid attention to everything. And I, you know, made sure I was informed about stuff. But at the same time, I didn't worry because I knew that this is not my portion. You know, there's these judges and these things that's coming on that we're seeing. It's good that we don't get worried because it's not our portion. And we realize that the Most High is, you know, coming in and moving, despite all of this stuff.
So Red, you realize every single thing that had been that got touched with Ian down in Fort Myers, it got touched again by by Milton.
Exactly. It came through from Helene and now with Milton. And then, I mean, even with Helene, I was fine. I didn't have news, no power. And I agree with Chocolate Knight. The joy that I had that after I saw all this stuff, I felt bad a little bit because, you know, some people was losing their homes. But I'm like, man, seeing it made me happy because I saw the hand of the Most High moving. I'm like, dang, this could have been my apartment. My car could have been up to the window in water, and I, you know, lost everything in the apartment. And now I gotta just, you know, figure out what, like, bro, it's nothing but the grace of the Most High, and I'm so grateful for His grace and His mercy for this. And He's truly a keeper. You know, it truly. I always pray that He would keep the blood on our doorposts of all the people that follow Him to help spare us from these coming plagues that we know is coming into this place.
Yeah, you didn't put the olive oil on. I thought you would. I thought your olive oil would have been on there real slick. It would have been real extra greasy.
I had no olive oil. I had to use avocado. I had to use avocado oil and just start slinging it around the door.
You prayed over the avocado. This Father, this is a substitute. This is a substitute
Hey,
substitute oil.
I pray that blood over the doorpost. I was like, y'all, just as you kept our ancestors who were in the midst of all of this, you will keep us. You know, this is the part of putting the scriptures in action.
And it's still overcast down here, family.
Yeah.
It's still overcast. Like, Red and I haven't seen the sun here in Florida in like a week.
It came out yesterday.
For like an hour or so.
It showed itself yesterday for a little bit.
For like an hour. An hour.
I'm with you, Lynn. I have been loving the weather. That's why I've been walking around outside everywhere, because it's been so nice. This cool weather is why I like living in Florida. I just, I don't like that it's under these circumstances, but the cool weather has been good. I've just been in a grateful mood, man. The Most High is truly, truly a keeper, man. I'm living, like I said, I'm sitting here in my home with my power in front of my fan and all my power devices and in air conditioning with my refrigerator working and everything. And you're like, man, I'm just grateful. And I don't got to worry about the boiled water because I bought a filter. I don't drink water out the faucet. I'm in Florida. I'm like, I don't like.
Is your water pressure low, Red? Is your water pressure low?
Water pressure is normal.
Oh, that's good.
Absolutely normal. You know what I mean? I put a filter on my shower, so I don't got to worry about the shower water. Be prepared. That's really the message that I would really want to, put out there. That be prepared. Be prepared for. Just it don't hurt to be prepared, but also just trust in the Most High. You can never prepare for everything because I'm a planner type of person, and if I sit down and try to plan for everything, I lose my mind. I just plan for what I can plan for and trust the Most High for the rest, and it's been a true blessing.
And there's two different preparations. You can prepare to hunker down, or you can prepare to flee. For me, listen, I know what the scripture says. I prepare to flee. Why are you going to flee? Because here's the thing. That's what the Most High said was going to happen. Yep.
If it get crazy, if that other storm come up this way, I'm leaving. I'm not going to be here for that one. I'm not going to stay. Because they haven't recovered from Helene. Then this storm, Milton, happened. And then now you finna have another one come up.
Yeah, no. And we were in Red. We were all on the north side of that eye too. Man, exactly. That's where everything hit. Was that north side of the eye? Oh my goodness!
Everything was on there. Yeah, that's why the tornadoes hit.
So even though it was, the eye was kind of south of us, we were still in all the bad weather. We were still in all the bad weather.
And the Most High is a keeper in all of that, man. I'm truly grateful. For how he has kept us in this situation. I want to reiterate now that we got more folks on there. Something that I said in the beginning of this, some housekeeping for Q2UA. If Q2UA will never solicit you directly for donations, we'll never send you an email. You'll never get a member of the board to email you saying, donate to this. If there's any initiatives or anything that we're receiving donations for, it's going to be on our website. And all donations should go through our website. Don't use a personal Cash App. Don't Zelle anybody. Unfortunately, scams are everywhere. And we want to make sure people don't get scammed and nobody comes in and sends money where it's not supposed to go. So all donations for Q2UA go through the website, not from anybody, sending you a message, or if you get an email or a phone call or any other type of means that's outside of, on this channel. Somebody telling you this or sending you to the website. If they're trying to send you to anywhere but the official website to use our form, don't do it. So we want to make sure our people don't get scammed. There's unfortunately tons of folks out these days that love to scam and pull off scams. I actually had somebody call my phone saying they were from my bank and saying, oh, there was a fraudulent wire transfer and blah, blah, blah. But then I start asking questions like, oh, well, which account did it come from? I have multiple accounts. Which account did it come from? Oh, well, I can't tell you that. Then why are you calling me? Like, it's we as this nation starts falling, you're going to start seeing, they always call it the Nigerian print scam, and they laugh at the Indian scammers. Well, a lot of that stuff is born because of poverty. You're going to start seeing that happen over here because now these people are starting to, the poverty is stepping up over here. So we're going to start seeing that. So, make sure you only donate through the website, nowhere else. If somebody messages you on WhatsApp, text message, email, whatever other way, that ain't it. That ain't it. So but aside from that, man, that's all I really wanted to come through this day is share the goodness of the Most High. We in the mobile from the mobile Goshen unit.
Yeah, exactly.
From the mobile Goshen unit, the Most High is the keeper of his people, and it really blessed me to see the people in this chat that also had their homes good. It's the Most High is a keeper, man. If you truly trust and believe in the Most High, and you truly pray, and He will lead you, and He won't lead you astray. He will not lead you astray, man. It's a blessing.
It really is. I told you I wanted to evacuate. That was my plan. I wanted to evacuate. But the Most High had other plans for me, and He had to have me come through to see and to witness. I have a little bit of a roof issue for a leak that I need to get fixed, but other than that, yeah, I was relatively unscathed. The power had flickered for a few hours, but nothing had really gone on out. And I mean, these wind gusts, they're a powerful wind gust. They're at least 90. They said that the Sunshine Skyway Bridge had clocked 103 miles an hour. Yeah, I know we were definitely at about, I would say even inland, we were probably, some of those gusts hit 100 plus. I'm sorry. Some of those gusts, Red, that we were feeling
it sounded like a train outside, like a jet engine.
Did.
It really did. Nah, that wind was serious. That wind was not joking.
Yeah, it felt like a 3 hour. Then it felt like we're in a 3 hour tornado. Man, just about.
I was joking with a buddy of mine about the wind, and I was like, "Man, this wind is upset about his dead end job, and had 6 beers and came home and is beating everybody in the house."
Yep.
This wind was tripping. It put on a wife beater and started whooping everybody. That wind was no joke. It was no joke. But y'all, man, and even in the midst of the judgment, man, I'm just grateful. I am very, very, very grateful that everything is still on the up and up,
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a blessing to live through this, to testify.
Exactly.
And to go through these challenges and to go through these storms, whether spiritual, whether financial, whether emotional, the Most High always brings you through the storm. You're going to go through some storms. That's just how it goes.
Yep.
That's what happens.
Exactly. We really wanted to encourage everybody because, we know this race ain't to the quick, to the strong, but those that endure. And that enduring, it gets tiring. I ain't gonna lie, I needed that win yesterday. That's why I was in tears, thanking the Most High for it because, it's just been a lot of stuff that's just been going on and it had drugged me down. But after seeing how the Most High kept me and, in the middle of all this stuff, man, it's truly a blessing and truly a witness to the Most High that if you put your trust in Him, He gonna guide your ways and you'll never go wrong. Yeah, like my brother Garth said, He's a way maker.
Hallelujah.
So facts, He is a way maker. Dude. But yeah, that's pretty much what I had this morning. Unless anybody else had any important business they wanted to bring up.
Not for this week.
So
we'll have some announcements next week.
Yeah, I just want to share in this this witness to how the Most High takes care of His people when you trust Him.
The Most High is great. And true Thanksgiving, man. I agree. But with that though, fam, like I said, if we any donations, always send that on the website. Don't do anything devious. Somebody send you their web email address or a Zelle number or whatever. Like, nah, that ain't how we do things. We do it all on the website on our forums there. So we don't want folks to get scammed. And also just keep putting your trust in the Most High and use your common sense as these things start coming in your local areas, because this ain't the end. There's going to be more stuff on the horizon. This thing with Iran is ramping up this weekend, so we have no idea what situation we're going to be in by Sunday when these folks out here being bloodthirsty for stuff. So,
and another one, there is safety in a multitude of counsel. So the Most High brings counsel to you. He does. And when you have that counsel that has been divinely given to you by the Most High, you have to exercise that counsel. You have to exercise that judgment. A lot of things I could have done, especially this week. I could have gone off of feelings. Well, I felt this, I felt that. I felt this, I could have done that. Red and I could have done that. But there are some things that you have to stay, and there are some things that you have to go. Whether you feel like it or not.
And that's it right there.
You know what I'm saying?
That's exclamation mark right there.
Mic drop.
Exactly. That's real talk. Whether you feel like it or not.
Whether you feel like it or not. Yeah, listen, it's a multitude of it's safety in a multitude of counsel. And this is why I think the Most High that we have an awesome Ruach HaKodesh-filled board that doesn't play around with silliness or nonsense. And it's the Most High that literally creates the opportunities for us every time we follow his word. Every time we walk in obedience. Every time we give him praise in a situation that seems impossible, he makes the impossible possible. And that's what we're doing during this time. If it's only a handful of people that represents the Most High in this time, then so be it. If it's only one person, then so be it. Remember, Abraham had to plead for the family of Lot.
Sure did.
For Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yep.
So, family, this is how we work. No one's immune to it. I listen to the board. I listen to the multitude. I listen to the council because that's safety. I don't do things unilaterally. I don't come up with a storyline because I failed to listen. At the end of the day, people can tell all the stories that they want, but it's the Most High that judges. That's it. That's it. It's the Most High that judges. And guess what he'll do when you put your trust in him? He'll get you out of that issue that you think is an issue.
Sure enough.
When you follow his path, guess what? Sometimes you walk and sometimes you stay. But when you walk and you have to walk, guess what? You just give him praise as you're walking. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't seem right. I want to do this. I want to do that. But guess what? I'm walking this thing out, Father, because this is where you have me going. Because you done closed off all the doors. And I have to go and do it this way and do it that way. Because if I do anything else, then I'm going to be doing wickedness. And our Elohim isn't the Elohim of wicked. He's the Elohim of the righteous.
And order.
And order. Exactly. The Elohim of plans and planning, the Elohims of getting witty inventions, of strategy that's legally compliant. That's how our Elohim works. So with that, that's all I got to say, family.
That's the mic drop right there. Oh, man. Brother Uncle Walt, you got anything you want to say, Sister Shar?
No, man, I'm good.
Yeah, y'all know y'all been wearing me out with this storm. I'm ready. I'm ready to go take a nap.
I tell you, boy.
Y'all got me tired.
We all been through the storm.
We did.
And I woke up tired. Look, Brett and I have been through all sorts of storms.
Man.
Storms. Storms.
Yeah. It's been a crazy week.
Go ahead,
but the Most High brought us through it all, and He'll keep on doing it. So it's just what it is. It's life.
That's facts. That is facts. That is
facts.
But
that's all I got.
Well, with that, family, we thank y'all for coming in. We appreciate y'all. Always keep trusting in the Most High, and don't let fear grip you, because hey, I'm Karis, not living proof, even in the midst of the storm. You know what I mean? The Most High is gonna keep you. So,
hallelujah. Do not operate in fear. Hallelujah.
That's right. Do not operate in fear. So, with that, y'all, we were gonna, end this family session, and we're gonna say be blessed to everybody. And stay watchful, because this weekend, we don't even know tell them what's gonna happen.
Exactly.
All right, y'all. It's good talking with y'all today, and we'll see y'all later.
All right. Shalom, family.
Shalom, everyone.
What were you taught about marriage? Did it have you properly prepared for the journey, or desperately frustrated looking for the nearest escape? I'm Shar, founder of Law for Love, the most special place in the legal system in Atlanta. And after navigating families through the court system for more than 13 years, we are now taking those lessons learned to serve and support families to build healthier, happier, more purposeful marriages. Join us live on YouTube at Law for Love ATL Monday nights for our family meetings. Yes, grown folk discussions.
The Rise of Africa, the continent, the diaspora, and BRICS explores the relationships that are affecting the global economy right now. This book explores the relationships of the African diaspora's influence on the African continent and why this is important in stabilizing relationships with an understanding of how BRICS impacts the future, good or bad. You can order your copy of The Rise of Africa today on Amazon.com.